guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Nancy from nancybadija.com, and welcome to another episode of Etsy Shop Critique. If this is your first time in my YouTube channel and you are an Etsy seller, this is the place to be. I create a lot of videos that I help other Etsy sellers increase their sales, do proper SEO, do one-on-one branding, social media presence, and a lot more. So if you're interested in growing your business and making Etsy a full-time business, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel and make sure that you show this girl some love by liking this video. I also try to create a sense of community. So if by the end of this video you have some helpful tips for the shop that I'm critiquing today, Sassy Sasha Jewelry, if you have any critiques that maybe I didn't cover or any tips that you could give her, make sure that you leave a comment below. I think that if we all help each other, we have enough room to grow, and we have enough room for all of us to be successful and make money. So if you have any helpful tips, make sure you leave it below. So let's go ahead and get started. So Sasha, thank you for allowing me to do a review of your shop. I really appreciate it. And let's go ahead and get started. I did an audit on this particular item right here. So the first thing I want to talk about is, which is the first thing I always talk about, is product photography. And the reason why that's the first thing I always talk about is because that's the first thing that a potential customer sees. So first impressions are everything. When you have an e-commerce store, you have to think about it in the sense that the person can't actually hold the item. They can't wear it. They can't, touch the texture. All they have is the photo, So when they're buying from you, all they have to decide whether they want it or not is based on the quality of the photo. The better the photo, the better the quality, the higher chances of you not only landing a sale from a target audience, but also landing a sale from someone that maybe didn't intend to buy from you, but they saw your product or stumble across your product. They fell in love with it and now they're going to buy as well. So you kind of want to target both, right? You want to target the people that are looking for your products, but you also want to target those people that are emotional buyers, that they see something, they're like, wow, I wasn't looking for this, but it's so cute, I have to have it. So you want to target both people, then your sales will really, really take off and you'll make more money, which is the ultimate goal, obviously, for everyone. Now, with this picture, the first thing that I would say is to update the photo. It doesn't really look like earrings unless you go up here and read. Unfortunately, you probably noticed this already. A lot of people don't read. We live in a society that everything is visual. So unfortunately, people are not going to take the time, if they're trying to understand what this is, they're not going to take the time to read this or click on the listing description, especially if it's their first time using Etsy. I get so many people that when they buy from my shop, they'll message me and say, oh, I have a question about this listing. Does it come with this? But it's listed in the listing description. So obviously they didn't click on it. And then as I talk to them a little bit more, I realized, because at the end they're like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I have so many questions, I've never done this, it's my first time on Etsy. So there's a lot of people that is their first time, so they don't really know how to navigate like the listing description or navigate anything. So therefore, it's also important to have really quality photos for people like that, because then that would, one, avoid unnecessary questions. They'll know exactly what they're getting, and then hopefully, increases your sale. When I look at this picture, it doesn't really resonate with me as earrings. It could look like earrings, but it also could look like, I don't know, like crystals, or it could look like something else. So if there's any type of confusion that someone looks at a picture and possibly think is something else, then you need to change that photo, because you want to make sure that when the person is looking at it, they know exactly what they're buying. If they don't know exactly what they're buying, it causes confusion. So therefore, the person's gonna, people have short spam, so they're not gonna stay to read or stay to kind of investigate what it is. They're gonna move on to the next listing. I would definitely, I know that you've done a good job with like showcasing different angles and having this picture here with the different colors and then having it worn. what I would do, and even with the scale, this is perfect because then people know what size it is. So the first thing I would do is probably have, if I had to choose from all these pictures, I probably have this one as the first one, or even this one because it has the little hooks shown. So then I know that it's for the earrings. Can the picture look better though? That's the question. Because even if you put this picture, it's not that much different from the first one, you see? So therefore, it kind of shows that it is earrings a little bit better, but the picture doesn't. It's not wowing me. So when I look at the picture, I'm not saying, "Wow, this is like the best picture I ever seen of earrings." It's not. So therefore, you have to step up your game with the photos. Um, Even with the model, it's a good photo, but I feel like it could have been better. Also, it could have been more clear. Um, it could have been maybe more focused on the earrings, or I don't know if it's because her face is getting cut off and maybe that's why. And I know that's a way of photography because I was reading that for a lot of photos, what people do is they don't take the photo of the person because then they can't picture the earrings or that whatever you're selling, they can't see picture it on themselves. I was reading that was like a tactic. So I don't know if that's what you're doing, which is good if you are because you are reading and learning, but I'm just not too crazy about it. I would definitely look at other shops that that sell a lot of jewelry, that sell a lot of earrings, and kind of see what they're doing, their take of doing, and try that. And get inspired by it, right? Because we don't want to copy someone, but get inspired, make it, and then make it better than theirs. Um, and what I will also do is test out your photos. There's a company that you could try. It's called Watify, and they charge anywhere from $5 to $30. They only charge you based on your sales. So if you make a lot of sales, they're gonna charge you 30. If you don't make barely any sales, they're gonna charge you 5. So I think it's fair because they only charge you based on what you sell. But the first 30 days is free. And basically, I'll leave the link. Any links that I recommend, they're all gonna be in the bottom of this video. So Watify, what they do is they take your first two photos. So my internet's a little slow, so I apologize. They take the first two photos of your listing. So let's say they'll take this one here and they take this one here. And for the next 30 days, they swap them. So one day you'll go to your Etsy shop and this will be your main photo. And the next day, this one might be the main one. So they keep swapping it and they collect data for 30 days. So at the end of the 30 days, they let you know that which photo performed better, which photo got more clicks, which photo got more sales. And they're going to give you a report. And then all you have to do is make those changes, implement those changes. So you'll go back to your store and then you will put the ones that made you the more clicks and made you the more sales. You go back to your store and you would change that photo as your main photo in your page. That's a cool way to test something out. If you want to test I would test it out. If I was you, I would test it out with this one and this one. Just to see if by somebody wearing the earrings versus just having them like this, which one performs better. And then that would be data versus me just telling you my opinion. That's actual data. It's like it's the best thing you could do. You're measuring something. If you can measure the success of something, it's going to be greater for you because then you know this actually got me more clicks. So therefore, if the picture with the girl with the earrings on get you more clicks, then you know that's the best way to do it. So you could redo your photos and make the first photo the one with the girl with the earrings and even possibly work in making the photo even better. Now, I know that as an Etsy seller, we have to wear a lot of hats and it can be quite difficult trying to learn photography, SEO, listing this, trying to do so many different things. If you don't have the time, the energy, you don't know photography as much, I know I don't, hire someone else. Spend the money for your business. Take Etsy, make Etsy a real business. Treat it as a real business. You could write it off in your expenses. So even if you pay somebody to take photos for you, you could write that back on your expenses and pay less tax and you make it up. So it doesn't matter at the end of the day. I would definitely invest in either having someone take photos for you or you doing them, or you taking a photography class and learning more on how to take photos for actual things, or maybe looking up something in your area like a group on sale about photography. They have a lot of those courses that you could take online for like $20 and you get all these classes. But taking something that's going to better your photos. Photos are very, very crucial. Keep in mind that a bad photo could cost you a sale, and it doesn't matter how amazing your product is. If you can have the best product in the world, but if the photo is crappy, or if it doesn't look good, if it's not compelling enough, you will not get the sale. So that's one thing to keep in mind. The photo. I would definitely change it. Once you change it, make sure all your photos are sized the same size. So these three are. This one is not. You see how it gets cut off? This one's cut off. So it doesn't look professional. Like in my opinion, it should be, all the photos should have the same layout, the same size. That way when people are scrolling through it, it looks really nice. Like you want your page to look absolutely the best. You want your photos to look good. You want them to be the same size. You want it to have a very nice layout. You can also add call to actions at the end. I will have a picture that says click below to read listing the listing description of this earring. You're telling the customer what to do. They might not know that if they click down here, they could learn more. There's people out there that never shop on Etsy, or there's people that shop all the time, but they don't even know that. Don't think that everybody knows what you think. That's what I learned the hard way. Think like no one knows nothing. And that way, you're always thinking of different ways to keep customers longer in your page. The longer they stay in your shop, the chances increases of them buying from you. So I will add one that says click below to view listing description, or click below to learn more about those earrings. Make sure you put the keyword there, earring. That way they know, oh, these are earrings, in case they didn't know. Who knows, you're right? And then also put another call to action saying, make sure you favor our shop, or favor this item, and have like a little arrow pointing to the heart. The reason why I say that is because, as you have noticed probably, when somebody likes your item or favors your shop, if you ever add additional products to your store, they get a notification later saying, hey, Sasha added additional items, and then they'll come back to your shop. So that's just a nice thing to do, a call to action to actually create some type of conversion later on as well. So these are my tips for the photo. The second thing I always talk about is SEO. As you know, is search engine optimization. This is the way that the search engine like Google, Bing, Yahoo, Etsy search results understand what your page is about. So that's how they understand that this page is blue earrings and that page is orange earrings, and so on. You want to make sure that not only are you picking the right keywords, that they're not oversaturated, and that they're your target audience. You don't want to use keywords that are too broad, because therefore, if you do that, then you won't find your target audience. Now you're showing it to everyone, and not everyone is interested in earrings or your product. And then you end up spending more in money in ads and wasting more money, or you end up getting a lot of views or a lot of clicks but no sales. So I use Etsy Rank in order to do an audit on this. It's a free tool. If you're not using it, I highly recommend signing up for it. And so this is what I'm getting from your shop. These are the keywords for that particular listing. And you have a lot of you see all these that are in red. You're using keywords that are very competitive, meaning that there's a lot of people using the same keyword. So for instance, if you were to take this one here, gift for her, and you were to go to Etsy.com and you type this in the search box, you're going to see how many other people are using the same keyword. There's over 1 million people. So therefore, you are competing with 1 million, almost 2 million people with the keyword gift for her. Another thing you got to keep in mind is that if you are trying to rank organically for that keyword, it's not going to happen, because there's too many people using it. So therefore, as you can see on the bottom page, there's 250 plus pages. Your listing might be like on the 15, 50, 16, 60, depending page. So therefore, as you might shop the same way I shop. Majority of people might go to page 1, might go to page 2, maybe page 3, and that's it. They don't keep going to page 5 25, 30, 30. They're not going to keep clicking on the pages. So therefore, you're never going to be found organically, which means that you don't pay anything. You're not going to be found. One, when you use a keyword that's too competitive. Two, what's going to happen is if you do an Xe ad, for you to come up here on the first page of Xe, when you run that ad, you can't set it to you could change your Xe ads to like 10 cents per click. Well, you can't do that with this keyword, because if you choose 10 cents per click, your ad is going to appear, but it's going to be in the 10th, 11th, 12th page of Google of Xe. They're not going to put your ad up here. It's different factors for it. They base it on how long that listing been open, your history, different things. But for the most part, you're not going to pop up here. Now, if you do want to pop up in the first or second page of Xe search results, you're going to have to pay a hefty price. So you're going to have to leave it open, not put a bid, like not put I want every click to be 10 cents. You're going to have to leave it open. And if they want to charge you $4 a click, guess what? You're going to pay $4 a click. It just depends on that keyword and how much they charge, but it's not going to be cheap because so many people are competing. They're going to take a percentage from there and they're going to charge you more. Now, not only are you using a keyword that's oversaturated, so organically you're not going to get any hits. If you run an ad, it's going to cost you a lot of money. You're also doing a keyword that's too broad. And broad means that you're targeting anybody. So gift for her, as you can see, yeah, it's earrings, but it's also a bracelet. It's also a coffee mug with a dog in it. It's also a spa gift. It's also cups. It's so open that therefore, you're gonna a lot of people might see your listing, but doesn't necessarily mean people are gonna buy. The best way to get more sales is to target your audience. Only put the keywords that people are going to use to describe your item and find it. Blue earrings would be a better target than gift for her, because gift code for her could be anything. But if somebody typed in blue earrings, the chances of them buying from you are a lot higher now, because that's what they're looking for. And that's your target audience. That's how you know that someone's your target audience. Now, as you can see, blue earrings is very competitive as well. So you don't have to be creative, and you don't have to do, different, if you have a particular name for these earrings, or if it's like a particular shape of it, you're going to have to do that. I know that you said that you were trying to look for keywords that have polymer clay on it. But then therefore also you're using it too much, which I understand, because sometimes you have something so specific that's all you could use. You might have to combine this one and then combine additional words after that. That way it looks a little bit different. I mean, which looks like this what you're doing, but unfortunately, if that's what your product is about, it's really hard to change, like find additional keywords. You're just gonna have to do the grunt work and kind of really think out the box, and use only keywords to describe your item. Don't try to just grab any keyword because it happened to be low competition. You're like, oh, well, that works. Well, because you're going to be in the same predicament. Now you're targeting, the wrong people. Even though you could get found organically, now you're targeting wrong people. So therefore, you're going to get the same results, no sales. This one might be a good one because it's only 9,000. I always say, to people, try to stick with 6,000 or less, because then that way you have a better chance of selling. I noticed for me that if I do a particular listing that has over 6,000, it gets a little hard for me to get sales too. Even though I'm targeting my audience, I'm running an ad, it gets a little bit hard too, because 6,000 listings is also hard. It's a lot of people competing. So if you do less than 6,000, it gets better the chances than when you do like 9,000, like that one. As you can see, I just typed in the keyword, I put lookup, and then it's going to spit out keywords for you. You are in a very competitive niche, unfortunately. As you can see, we can't even find any that matches your description. Maybe this one, royal blue earrings, but it's still high. It's 8,000 in this category listing. So this is what you have to do. Unfortunately, there's no magic formula that I could give you. It's just basically just going through the keywords. Just what I always tell people, this is what you should do before creating a listing. You shouldn't create the product and then find the keywords. You should find the keywords first, do your SEO first. Make sure there's a market for it, make sure that it's not oversaturated that particular item, and then you create it. Because then therefore you're going to land on page one all the time for that particular style of earrings or that color or whatever it is, and then you have chances of getting more sales. And then you could do different shapes of that earrings or different colors of those particular keywords, and now you have a robust line of products that you are getting found organically. Versus I know one of my freelancers, she has an Etsy shop of t-shirts, and it's so oversaturated with t-shirts, right? So it's really hard to find t-shirts that you can actually make money. But she found, and I won't reveal what she did, but she found a particular niche that not too many people are competing. And her first month, she sold over 800 shirts, and I couldn't believe it. But she did that. Like she didn't do the shirts and then, oh, let me find keywords for this unicorn shirt or for this flower shirt. She actually did the homework first. She went and found the keywords for different shirts that she could make, and then she made the design, and she sells them through Printify. So she doesn't print them, but she makes the design and then they print it out for her. But I mean, it's crazy just from, and she has like 40 items. She doesn't have 3,000 like I do, or like tons of stuff. She only has 40 items. I think this is her second month now in Etsy, but she did a really good job at researching first. I think that's one of the most important things that anybody could do, especially as a new Etsy seller. But yeah, you don't have to come through here, kind of look at the ones that are available and kind of see if those match. And there's 23 pages, so you're gonna have to go through each one. I will create a list. So anything like this that has like under 6,000, write it down. Pick all the green ones first. If you find any low competition that actually describes your product, pick those first and then use the yellow ones as last. And keep doing that. And you're gonna have to just keep changing the word around. Like even if you do that and then you take the blue out and kind of search it that way, and keep doing that until different things pop up. But just make sure that any and every keyword you use is describing your product. Don't just pick any keyword just because. And you keep doing that, and then you'll start finding keywords. Once you have those keywords and you have other new keywords, then you would do SEO best practices, which you actually did a good job with it. SEO best practices means putting the keywords here. Make sure each keyword has a comma. So if blue statement earrings is one, comma, polymer clay is one, comma. Make sure you put a comma to separate the keywords. Make sure that the first 160 characters, which is this, has your main keyword. So if this was your main keyword, you will put it there, and then you will put it here in your first 160 characters. The reason why is because this is what shows up in the Google search results. So when somebody searches your store on Google, this is what they see, Google preview. And this is the first 160 characters. So it has to be enticing and compelling for the customer, the potential customer, to want to click to see your item. And your keyword has to be there. That way Google could reference this page is about a blue statement earring. So that's why you want to have it there. But yeah, once you do that, you put all the keywords like we mentioned. You put them up here. You put the main keyword in the first 160 characters. You distribute the additional keywords throughout your listing, and then you make sure that you have them all on the bottom of your page, which you did a good job with that. You make sure that you have the right category, which you do. Make sure that you add any attributions that you can. Everything and anything that could describe your product. So if there's an attribution that says blue as the color of your product, select it. The more specific you get and the more detail you get, the more your item will get found by the target audience that's looking for that particular item. So make sure that you take the time to fill out the listing description as you go and put in every little detail that you can and filling it out completely. Once you do your SEO, right? So the SEO is how somebody finds your item. The picture is what makes the person want to click on it. The third thing is the listing description. This is kind of what makes the person feel trustworthy of your shop. It creates credibility and makes them feel like, oh, okay, this is a legit store. Let me go ahead and buy from them. Um, your listing description should be very detailed. It should be very clear. You should have anything and everything about your product. You should explain what they're getting, how to order, the size, the color, um, just anything that you could think of should be in the listing description. This is a way for them to know exactly what they're buying. It avoids unnecessary questions to your shop, and it's going to encourage the person to go ahead and buy from you. I think you did a decent job with it. I would create a little bit more separation like you did right here. I think you did a really good job there. There's a big gap right here, so I will bring this up. Um, this right here should be a backlink. It's not a hyperlink right now. You see it's not working. That's because you didn't put you want to include this. Let me show you. So in order to create, I think I have one here. Let me make sure. So in order for this to work, you see, for it to open, you have to include the HTTPS. If you just put www, it's not going to create a hyperlink. A hyperlink is considered something that you click on and it opens the page. You have the idea because you want to put that there. That way, they click on it and they stay in your shop. Or if you have matching items, like these look kind of similar, you could put here, click here to view matching items, or click here to view the same item but in different colors. That's a way to keep them in your store, and you could create different hyperlinks, but make sure that you include the HTTPS at the beginning. So this could be a hyperlink. Um, Also, you see how in my store I have it like separated into little sections. So I have description, what's included, how to order, what you receive, refund. Like if you have like little titles like this, I think it makes it easier for the person to read and follow, or just go directly to the section they want to read. So you kind of did that here. I think this is because I think this is misspelled. I think I could be wrong. So you want to make sure that if you separate it into little sections like that, maybe put it on the top. That way, yeah, so it's misspelled. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure before I said that. So yeah, just go back, fix any misspellings that you have. And yeah, I would just put little sections. I will move this up a little bit more. And I will make sure to include anything and everything the customer needs to know. You've done a decent job with it, actually. I would just add a little bit more. You have this thing here, the customization that you need to change. But other than that, it's pretty good. I would just add additional links also to your additional products. That way they could stay longer. Make sure that you craft a really good listing description. That way there's no confusion. So anything you could think about this product, include it in there because it is important. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the curation of your shop. Do you have a logo, which you do, and it's really pretty. I like the fact that you have a tagline, you have your location, you have your photo, and it's close of your face. A lot of people's photos, you can't tell who they are, or it's very far, or they have a photo of themselves with someone else. It's more professional like this, how you have it. So I like that. Um, I like your banner. I don't think it's bad. Can it look better? Yes. The only reason why is because if you look at the most prominent shops, they have a banner with like the social media handles up here. They have a website link. They have their hours of operation. So these are things you could consider doing in the future. I will leave a link below to a company called Fiverr. You could find people there and pay them as low as $5 to create banners for you, like really professional banners. Other than that, it is a pretty banner though. It doesn't look bad at all. I just think that I'm always thinking of how can we improve it? How can we take it to a whole different level? So you can improve it, but it is one of the best banners I have seen. It showcases your products really well. You have pictures of women. It's empowering. They're all beautiful in their own way. They're showcasing your product very beautifully. So in that sense, you've done a really good job. I like that it's sized correctly. You have little white lines, is paste. It looks professional. So that's nice. A lot of times the banners are cut off, or they just throw any pictures up there and they're all like crooked. So yours look really good actually. Can it be better? Of course. Even my shop, everything could look better. Everything could be stepped up to a whole different level, right? So consider doing a new banner with your links and social media. Um, Look around, get inspired by other shops, get inspired by shops that make a lot of money. Those are the ones you got to look out, because you learn a lot from them when you go to their shop and you kind of look through their listing description, their verbatim, and their photos. You learn a lot, so keep that in mind. I like the fact that you have feature items up here. I will say one thing is, I like the 15% off. That's pretty good. The only thing I would say is the photos. They sure all look like it's coming from the same shop. Some of them do look very cohesive from the same shop, and then you have some like this that has the mannequin that doesn't look like it's coming from the same shop like this one. So one thing that you have to work on is cohesiveness, which is that when somebody looks at your products, like these up here are cohesive. If I saw this one and then I saw that one in a different page, I know it's coming from the same shop. But if I saw that picture and then I saw that one, I wouldn't think it comes from the same shop. So having a cohesive brand. Sometimes some people put like their logo down here or their watermark, and then they put it in every picture in the same spot, and that creates like a sense of cohesiveness. It's just little things like that. I like that you have a lot of different categories. Um, you can also use your keywords here just to keep that in mind. It's a SEO factor. But you do have it separated. I kind of went through it earlier, and I did like the fact that you just, put them in the right category as well. Sometimes people have um, either a lot of categories or not that many, and then they crunch up all the stuff in the wrong place when they have enough room to separate it. I think separating is better because people could go directly to what they want to buy, and they don't have to scroll through number of things that they're not interested in. Um, Also, your reviews are really good, so I don't really think I need to tell you anything about your reviews, because obviously you do make quality stuff, so people are liking your reviews. I mean, are giving you good reviews because they're liking your products. So I don't necessarily think I have to talk about that. Um, your updates, I thought that was good because you do have photos. I love this photo here. I like this fact that you have like different pictures. The only thing with these pictures, like this one here, is getting cut off. Um, and I know that you were trying to show the necklace. And then that one is good. And then this one is cut off here. So I will fix those if it lets you do it. Only because you do want to show it off. I like the fact that you have an about me. You took the time. That shows that you care about your shop. It shows that you are not, you are looking at small details. You're not trying to overlook details. It's so important that you take the time to craft an about me, and you take the time to do little things like that, because it does make you stand out from the rest of the people. The ultimate goal is, what can you do to be better than other people? What can you do to stand out? What can you fix in your shop? Um, the last thing I want to leave off is two things. One, sign up for QuickBooks. I recommend them. I have a link below. In QuickBooks, you could do your taxes through them. You could pay your taxes quarterly, because you have to pay taxes quarterly. Um, you could put all your expenses. It's really, really nice because it keeps everything in track. The last thing you want to do is start a business and end up paying penalties and fees because you never kept up with it. You didn't pay your taxes when you were supposed to. Do not do that. That's like the worst thing you could do. Second thing I highly recommend is measuring your key performance indicators once a month. Every month you should be looking at your listings. You should know what sells, what doesn't sell. You should know your conversion rate. You should know how much you made in certain items. You should focus more on the things that you make money, and remove the stuff that you're not making money from. It's important that you know your store inside out. If somebody was to ask you, how much money did you make last month? You know it. What is your top products? You know them. What is the number one thing that got the most like? You know that. If you don't know these things, you're not getting to know your store. And the more you know about your store, then the more you know what people are clicking on, the more you understand it, the more money you will make, and you will increase your sales, because now you're understanding who your target audience is, you're understanding what's working, you're understanding what pictures work better. So these are important things. You have to do that. I have a video also on how to install Google Analytics. I highly recommend it because Google Analytics gives you more detailed information on how the person found you, what way they were looking for before, who is your target audience. And the nice thing about Google Analytics is later, if you want to do a Facebook ad, it gives you the information like your demographics of who the person is, your persona, like your audience, and then you could run an ad versus trying to guess who it is. So it's really, really important for you to start implementing analytics in your shop. Um, let's go ahead and look at the links. So one thing to keep in mind, if this is your logo, your banner, all across, like your Facebook and then also your Twitter. If you have let's say LinkedIn or whatever else you have that uses a banner, it should have the same thing. That's branding. It shouldn't be this picture here and then this one different. They all should be the same. That way people know, oh, that's the same shop. They don't get confused, or they find you on Twitter by mistake. They'll follow you because they know who you are. So branding, branding, branding is so important. You did a good job with your logo because you do have it there. So in that aspect, you did good. Twitter is really good for driving. I have a Twitter account and I do really good with it. So Twitter is really good. Um, the key is, consistency. You actually are doing a good job with it. I think that you are posting on a consistent basis. So maybe using like a automated, or maybe you're doing it yourself, but it does show that you are being consistent. So that's good. Um, so yeah, with Twitter, just being consistent, having a call to action, telling people, telling people what to do is so important. Always keep that in mind, is call to actions. So telling them, click here to learn more, click here to view item, or click here to shop now. You have to say those things. Don't forget, you have to say those things. People won't click. People forget. So, or they don't know. So just make sure you have that in there. Facebook, have mixed feelings about Facebook. It's good to have a Facebook account because a lot of people, when they're going to find a business, the number one place they go to is Facebook. However, with Facebook, you are more, the chances of you making more money is if, one, you go viral, two, you have a large following, or three, you're spending a lot of money on advertising. If you are just posting, um, it's not going to get you a lot of views or traffic. It is important to keep up with it because at the end of the day, it is one of the biggest platform out there. So you, and people do search on Facebook as well. So you want to post consistently. You want to make sure also, that you tell them, click here to learn more, click here to view my shop. You want to post consistently every day. I see here you did the 12 and then the 17, and I think the 16. Okay, so you kind of are posting consistently. On Facebook, you don't need these many links. I don't know if this is from Instagram and it's posting automatically on Facebook. You don't need that many links. It actually looks spammy. It doesn't look nice. See? So it doesn't look professional. I would do 1 or 2 hashtags and that's it. I wouldn't use, 30 hashtags. Always keep in mind, click here to learn more. Always say that. Remove all these hashtags. As you can see, they're not doing anything for you. So Facebook doesn't really work that way. So keep that in mind. So yeah, I mean, you are posting consistently. Just make sure that also don't forget that you share a little bit about yourself. So don't just always post for people to buy from you. Post like, about who you are. Introduce yourself, why you like your business, why you started your business. Make it more fun. People want to know who they're buying from, so keep that in mind. For Instagram, the rules that I always tell people is the 3 W's. Who are you? What do you do? And why they should follow you or why they should buy from you. Have that in your bio. I'll give you an idea. Like mine's, I have well, this is one of mine as well, but my main one, I have this one here, and I have who I am, what I do, and then like why they should follow me. I have the critique, and then they could go here, and I have a lot of resources for Etsy sellers. It's important that you have it like that. That way, it looks more professional. Take out all those hashtags that you have. I wouldn't use all those hashtags that you had. I would just use maybe one or two hashtags, and that's it. You have your link, so that's good. Your profile logo should be here. It shouldn't be this picture. If you're gonna do the stories, make sure you do at least 5 more. It looks awkward that you only have one, so just fill it up if you can. When you do stories, have two, one in the morning and one in the evening, because when the people that see it in the morning, when you put the one in the evening, they get to see it again, so they're constantly viewing your stuff. So make sure you have two, and keep in mind that when you do a story, you could actually put a hyperlink, like a link in the story. So when people are viewing the story, they could actually swipe up and land on your Etsy shop. So you could send them to your shop. So it's a very, very, very good strategy, especially that not too many people are using stories right now. So you are in the competitive edge right now versus when everybody starts using it, then it's going to be oversaturated and people are not going to want to click on it. So just, I would highly recommend doing that. With pictures on Instagram, it's the same thing. Have a really good call to action. Have a really good compelling story. You don't have that right now. I would write a little bit more. I would say what this product is about, how you made it, how long it took you. I mean, just be really detailed with it. Take your time, and then make sure you click bio link, because this link here doesn't work. You see, so there's no point of putting that link there. It's better to say click bio link to learn more. Click on profile link to visit my shop. Say that instead. Separate the hashtags if you can. This is what I do. It just makes it easier to read, and then it doesn't look all clumped up. So this is what I do. I put like a dot 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 dot, and then I put my hashtags on the bottom. Do that. It just makes it easier for people to read. Um, that way it doesn't look like spam. It doesn't look like a mumbo jumbo, and then people could read it easier. Also keep it cohesive. It does look cohesive now. Um, but make sure that all your photos have like a similar look, similar colors. Stick with the colors all the time. Um, but the most important thing is to one, separate the hashtags, share like a story, make it very compelling for someone to want to go click and actually view your product. Um, but yeah, those are my tips for Instagram. It's about consistency also with them. You have to post every day. And then with the overall in social media, it's also about being social. So don't post and leave, if somebody takes time to respond to a post that you put, making sure you like their post, making sure you respond, say a thank you, making sure that if it's cohesive to what you want to follow them back, maybe follow them back and stuff like that. Pinterest, I think, is my favorite one for social media. I have an account right now that has 376,000 monthly views. Last month, last month was I drove 1,900 clicks from Pinterest to Etsy. This month, I'm at 1,800. So I don't know if I'm gonna hit more than 1,900. Hopefully, I will. I did a video on how I grew my Pinterest account using a software called Tailwind. So I have that video in my Etsy tutorial playlist. You could watch that. But I highly recommend using them. Pinterest to me is the best one for driving traffic to Etsy, and then Instagram will be my second choice. Twitter third, and Facebook fourth. Definitely work on pinning every day, doing different boards for your stuff, almost like how you did the categories. You're kind of doing that, and so you're doing a good job with that. You just gotta keep pinning. When you don't know what to do, pin more. Just keep pinning. The more you pin, the more traffic you get, the more views you get, the more clicks you get. So just pinning. If you do pin other people's stuff, do 1/3, but don't do a lot of other people. Do more of yours. But yeah, overall, you've done a really good job. You have the logo here, so that's perfect. I think if you follow those tips that I gave you, it will make an improvement. And I think over time, the more you do this, the more you'll pick up, the more you'll learn, the more you learn from other shops. So I think therefore you'll increase. But overall, I think bravo to you. I think you've done a really good job. You've done better than I did my first year, to be honest with you. I don't even know how I made my first year. I made 20,000 part time. Didn't know what I was doing and didn't really understand it. And I don't even know how I made that much, to be honest with you, because my store didn't look as nice as yours. So if you keep going at it, you'll get better. Because then eventually I was like 6 months in, that's when I really kicked in. And I was like, oh, I need to change my banner. I need to fix this up. I fixed it up and it made a huge difference. So you've done a really, really good job, guys. If you have any tips for her, leave a comment below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And thank you for watching, guys.